a father for them is the love that I feel for them. I don't like her no more. You can clearly see that through my action. I don't love her no more. I've never loved her. I never loved her. What I did was I had a strong infatuation and like, because these things share certain traits. The same way depression and sadness, they share certain traits. So if a person is not equipped to understand that a person is in depression, they will think that that person is just sad. Why do you think a lot of people that are in depression go into wanting to self-delete? Because the people that they're surrounded by are not equipped to see the signs that they're not just sad. It's a different thought process. Yes, it may share certain traits, but it's different. Yeah, like and love share certain traits, but it's different. You're not going to like someone for the rest of your life. Okay? Like is up and down. It's like happiness. It comes, it goes. It's fleeting. But the one thing that will always stay foundational is love. There are certain brothers that I haven't seen for years, Dark Lake, and I'm sure you can attest to this. There are certain people you probably haven't seen for years. But because that love is there, when y'all meet up or whatever, it's like nothing ever stopped.
They can love, I think, and I'm not saying that. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Nah, that's way different than romance and relationships. And I got my whole view on that, but I'm not even going to I ain't going to go down that rabbit hole. I'm trying to chill this Sunday, but I'm here.
Yeah, Dark Lake.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Scam. It's been a long time since I talked to you. How you doing, man?
Yeah, it disappeared for a bit, then came back, and I'm probably going to disappear again.
Oh.
Yeah.
Don't blame me, bro.
Here may be the issue. And I'm not speaking to you and not targeting you, but I am, of course, taking a cheap shot at the manosphere because they be lying. But the love and duty is actually two lies sold in a form of manipulation. If you look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, men are talking about what they want, what they need, how they want it. Women, and a perfect explanation of what they're saying they want and what they need, with Maslow's hierarchy of needs shows you what people need. They're leaving because of improper communication, which falls on leadership. They're leaving because of infidelity. They're leaving from incompatibility and unrealistic expectations. When they say love and duty, it shows that those things are not being met on the other side. Meaning, if a woman is leaving and the man doesn't know why she's leaving, that might be the very problem. And then you go, she's leaving saying, hey, I'm not being loved. Because everybody's what they need may be different. You say, I paid the bills. I'm a man. Yeah. Like, no, I need to be loved this way. I need this. I need that. I need you to sit on the couch and hold my hand. They need different things. But the manosphere, well, I paid the bills 50-50 on my purpose. And it's junk. Then they say, well, I'll stay. She's the one that's leaving. I bet so, because it's one-sided. You didn't fulfill the actual needs. Follow the expectations and communicate in a way that you know and actually can manage what it is and why she's leaving to begin with. Meaning somebody ain't being loved right, just like employees. I've been a supervisor before. You can say, well, I paid them. Yeah, they knew they were going to get paid. But you didn't listen to them when they asked for time off. You didn't provide them with proper work. There's 5 other things of how they want to be an employee. I remember doing a survey. Pay was between number 5 and number 9 on the list of what they thought was most important in the workplace. Couldn't believe it.
Oh. That's
meaning they're saying, meaning a man can say, duty, be there, do these 6 things, but it doesn't mean that that's what's going on the other side.
Mm-hmm. Hi, KMA.
The wife needs something different, and each child needs something different.
Mm-hmm.
And neglecting the wife is not good for the kids.
Right.
But people say, well, I'm here for the kids. Okay, you might want to be there for the woman who also takes care of those kids.
Mm-hmm.
Provide the best environment for that woman so she can love the kids properly and support you properly.
Hi, Vaughn. Thank you for being here.
But I'm just saying that other picture is not being pitched. It's
but the example that he gave,
the woman.
Scam. Address the example that he gave. address the example that he gave, because that's what I was addressing. The
Okay,
example,
what was the example that was given so I can speak to it
a
directly?
man and a woman are no longer together, but they have children, right?
Okay.
So his duty is to take care of the children, but he no longer messes with Shorty.
Okay.
So that was his hypothetical.
Yeah,
My
I was
first-
basically Scam. I was bringing up the point of like, I think the problem is, people don't understand that, like, they're only trying to maintain the love, but if the love is lost, they sometimes will be selfish and not fulfill the duties because the love is lost. I guess that's
Yes,
where
that
I'm
makes
trying to. That's
sense.
just like a critique I have essentially.
Dark Lake, your employer doesn't pay you when you go to work on Friday. How hard are you going to work on Saturday?
But can you really juxtaposition that?
The
Because
lights aren't working.
It's a relationship. It's not
The
a
internet
job.
connection ain't working and the lights aren't working in the building. How much work are we expecting to get done? Now, I'm telling you this because this is really what it is. The woman ain't being loved right. The man ain't getting what he needs. It's going to have an effect on the husband, the wife, the kids, and all the way even down to the dog. That's what we live in right now.
The dog?
Yep, even the dog.
Damn.
Hold on, Scam.
Even the goldfish.
Can I say this, please? I'm gonna say this, right? And this
Go
is
ahead.
this is my experience in seeing a marriage for 50 years with my grandparents, and then seeing marriage as a whole.
Okay,
right?
hold on. Them 50s,
but
40s, and
it's
50s
something-
people, they're the biggest liars, but go ahead.
Okay, yeah, but this is what
We'll
I'm
beat
saying.
them up in a
Scam.
second. Go ahead.
This is what I'm saying, Scam, right? Look, paying the bills ain't everything, but it's something. It's something. Her cooking a meal ain't everything, but it's something.
I'm not disagreeing.
It matters. It matters. Like, it's not everything. And I also think our expectations in these relationships are based on, you know, I hate going down this road, but whatever. Based on, you know, yeah, we are here, so let's get it. It's based on what other people have told us. It's based on what other coaches have told us. It ain't really based on what we as a people and as a culture have even set forth. You know what I mean? But that's just through me looking at society and, you know, population control and a whole bunch of stuff. But outside of that, I think that we have expectations on people
Who just dropped?
that sometimes are just unreasonable,
Okay.
right?
Oh.
Expectations that we don't even have for ourselves, right? So we're putting all this on one person, and then if they don't fulfill that, then we automatically just want to cut them off. And it's like, did you really even love them in the first place? So I do see what Bolo was saying. Like, if you really love somebody, then even if they're not filling all your expectations, you still are like, hey, I love you. So, you know, we can work through it, because real love is an action. It requires compromise. It requires being empathetic and sympathetic. It requires you to put action forth. It's not just because somebody doesn't do something you want or doesn't do something you like, you just cut them off at the legs. Like, that's not what the real love is. So
What you're saying is a combination of things that are true, but I think it's an unreal. Okay. Most people did not get the love that they needed to even be the person that they need to be. That's the majority. So if they didn't get what they needed, let's go all the way back to them fake relationships to the 40s, 50s, and 60s, where they lied and said that because they were still there, that their relationship was successful. Knowing she's missing a tooth, knowing I only had to keep going in on them 40s and 50s. The truth is this: they were raised like slaves. They worked in a job they hated and sat in the same cube for 48 years, retired, and still went to work because they didn't know what else to do. That's how their brains worked. And then they go and try to teach these things that don't work to some of them who figured out, hey man, I can leave. This is some BS.
That's where that.
Well, I'm being extra. Yeah, I'm being extra.
I know you are. But
you know me.
That. Okay, this is where, you know, I was trying to articulate to Dark Lake, and I think this is where, you know, we try to separate the two. Love and duty are often tied together, but they carry different weights. This goes into what 84 was just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Love is the why. It's the fire. It's the fuel, that connection, affection, the sacrifice. It's born from emotion, spiritual conviction, and a desire to care deeply for someone. Love is free flowing, often intentional, poetic, and powerful. It drives us to protect, nurture, and uplift. But love alone without structure can be inconsistent. It can waver when feelings fade or hardship hits. Here's where duty comes in. Duty, on the other hand, is the how. It's the structure that holds love in place when the winds blow hard. Duty is the grounding, and it's a responsibility. It's a commitment. It's principle. It says, even when I don't feel like it, I will still show up. And this is where these two hold on to each other and create that cohesive handshake that we're looking for. When we don't have these two, relationships fall apart. This goes into what 84 is saying. We sit here and say that I need this woman to be the woman that I need. I need this man to be the man that I need. What cats don't understand that that's a lifetime of growing and learning each other.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lifetime. Okay? It's not 10 years. It's not 15. It's not 30. It's a lifetime of learning each other. This is what people seem not to get. People put a timetable on it and say, well, you know, I'm here. It's 30 years later. The expectation. This is why I say the perfect marriage is one when both say we're not leaving each other. No matter how much of the argument we get, no matter how bad it is, we're rocking out and we're staying together. That's what they had in the 50s. That's what they had. They wasn't as intellectual as we, air quotes, might be today. But the one thing that they did was, I'm stuck with you, you stuck with me, we gonna figure it out. The problem that we have today is there's so many different damn choices to make, when really there aren't. See, what the enemy does is he makes you think that you have 50 decisions, 50 choices, when really you don't. You have two. It's really two. So instead of us taking the time as men, right? Since we're men up here, and one woman, instead of us taking the time as men to find out who we are first, find out what we want, find out what our direction is, find out our intention, find out our integrity, our character. Before we have all of those things boggled down, like my man 84 was saying, we just jump into a relationship and figure it out on the way. And and this goes into what you're saying, 84, the relationship suffers because as I'm trying to figure out what a man is in real time, I'm married with children. So I got to find out how to be a husband. I got to find out how to be a father. That means I have to be patient at the same time, pleasing her, at the same time, learning me. When do you learn how to play basketball in your NBA? You should already have that foundation. This is why the scriptures tell you a man that findeth a wife is a good thing. How did I find her? She wasn't a wife at the time. She couldn't have been. Why? She already had that foundation. Now, how do I know what to look for in a wife? Because the foundation of me being a husband is already there. Mm-hmm. Now, again, we still have to figure things out because she's bringing her life, I'm bringing my life, and we're going to come together and become one flesh, right? So there are still some things, and like you both were saying, compromise that we have to do to grow into that one flesh. But that's a lifetime. And that's the problem. Everything is microwavable today. If it doesn't happen in 20 minutes, it's not good.
Hey, Bolo.
Yes, sir.
Of course, I beat up the 40s, 50s, and 60s.
I know what you mean. I know you don't mean it like that. But.
Well, the thing I'm beating them up for is taking too much credit for staying together and using that as an expectation to throw at the younger people, knowing that their marriages had no love and it was survival. And half of them didn't even love the kids or couldn't express it because it was beating them half to death, and the wife and the dog. Like, there are things, every generation creates the next one.
Okay.
And I'll say this, there are some good. I'm just expressing this bad part. So I'm not just beating up all the 40s, 50s, 60s.
Right.
That very thing created a lot of the overcorrection of people going all crazy and feminist and whatever movements that people can't stand.
Okay.
And other things created the people switching genders and flipping all crazy. If he don't make 8-figure, it got to the point where like the 50s relationships were duty with no love. And their duty was that they claimed was because they didn't even know how to leave if they wanted to. They're slave minded.
Yeah, but
they never left their city and their house.
Yeah, but cats, listen, this is the one thing I've always found out, Scam. The one thing that all of us on this panel can understand. When you don't want to do something no more, I don't care what the situation is, you ain't doing it no more. You'll find a way out, bro. Cats
That
was
was
being,
more. That was more late 60s, 70s.
yeah, but what I'm saying to
40s,
you,
50s, they did it anyway.
but what I'm saying, what I'm saying is when you're tired of doing something, look at slavery, right? When you're tired of doing something, I don't care what the situation is. I'm tired of this. Y'all gonna have to kill me. I'm gonna run, knowing that when I come back, I'm gonna be lynched and made an example of. But I'm tired of doing this. I don't want to do it no more. Now that's the extreme, because I hate using extremes to make them. But the reason why I'm using this extreme is I don't want to pick cotton no more. I don't want to call you master no more. And I know if I run and I get caught, the ultimate punishment is death. I don't want to do it no more. How much more me being with a woman I don't want to be with, or a woman being with a man she don't want to be with? That's nothing compared to that. I just get up and bounce.
Yeah, now it got overcorrected.
But
To
what I'm
where if you
saying,
don't clip your toenails right, some
Right.
people just get up and leave.
but the point that I'm making is that's the problem. The problem is okay. When the problem that we have, I'm gonna use children as an example. As parents, and I believe all of us are uncles, we have nieces, mothers, and fathers, right? We when they come over to our house, if you're an uncle or if you're a parent, when they live under your roof, there are guidelines you give them. Within these two lines, you could do anything. Outside of these two lines, you got a problem. You're gonna have a problem with me. But within these two lines, rock out. That's what life is. And what the Western side of the world says, you can do whatever you want. There is no damn lines. Go ahead, do you. And then when they become 50, 40, 45, they figure out, let me figure out those two lines. And it's too late now. You done lived your life. What are you gonna do? Have a child now? What are you gonna do? Get married now? So what we're trying to give these young men and young women is that you have to have parameters.
Hi, Eric.
Just because you think you have all these different choices, it's an illusion.
That's true.
It's an illusion. The illusion that Satan gave Adam and Eve was what you have is not what you have. They were already immortal. Death didn't exist. Sickness didn't exist. Pain didn't exist. So he tricked Eve into thinking that you don't have these things, even though she already has it. Even though she is immortal, she could never die. But because he tricked them, because she fell victim to it, and Adam ultimately fell victim to it, ultimately they lost what they had. So when you think something is better on the other side and you lose it, now that's when you realize, oh, damn, man. Damn, I messed up. Hopefully, if the Lord bless me, I ain't gonna make that mistake again. That's called growth. That's called growth, right? So cool. So what I'm saying to Dark Lake is when you're talking duty, I don't give a damn. Let me explain something to you. There's dudes that walk out on their children.
That's true.
There's women that walk out on their children. Where's the duty in that? Why? They didn't love the child.
Well, Bolo,
Do you understand what I'm saying?
it's technically not being the husband you're supposed to be.
No. Before you go to that, do you understand
go
the
ahead.
point I'm making?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. You're just talking about just throwing the whole duty, just burning the duty. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
And
that's
hell with duty.
And that's no, I'm not saying I'm not saying that with duty. What I'm saying is they're hand in hand. They walk with each other. In other words, if there are men and women that walk away from their children, they'll sign their parental affiliation with their child over. I don't want to deal with them no more. Why? I saw a child found her mother. She said, yo, listen, did you give up a girl 20 years ago? She was like, yeah. Did you do such a? She said, listen, man, just tell me what the problem is. This is the mother. Just tell me what your issue. She says, I'm the girl you gave up. She said, so how did you find me? She said, I've been looking for you. She said, you know what, man, this is so inconvenient. It was a closed adoption. And the girl is like, but I found my mother. And she was like, nah, man, this ain't such and such a. And you could Google it. I mean, YouTube it. Okay. She didn't love that little girl, bro. So any connection, any duty that she would have had towards her, she didn't have it at all. So that's why I was trying to show Dark Lake that they both encompass each other. That duty is formed. I don't have no duty. If I fell out of like with the mother, I don't care what her situation is. Okay, I don't care. Now, if my children happen to live with her, I have to care at this point. I'm speaking
Okay.
I'm speaking hypothetically. If I don't have a care in the world for the mother, but I love my children, right? That means that however she lives, my children lives.
Right.
I'm going to have some type of hands in on that. Now, if I have 100% custody of the children, whatever.
Great. Yeah.
She is how it is. What it is with her. She can live how she wants to live. You dig what I'm saying? But that's the point that I was trying to show Dark Lake, that you cannot have duty without love.
Yeah, they run it like one is.
They work hand in hand. They have two separate duties. They have two separate jobs, but they work together. They have to work together because, again, the duty only comes through the love. Me working hard to pay child support is because of duty. You know how many cats work off the book so that they don't have to pay child support? There is no duty. There is no love there. It is what it is. You dig what I'm saying? So, yeah, I know 84 wanted to say something. I cut 84 off. My bad, boy.
No, Bolo, it's cool. You know what I mean? You big bro. You do what you do. Salute to everybody in the chats, and please, y'all see the link. You know what I mean? Please subscribe to Mo Love's channel. I know some of y'all watching on my channel, but please subscribe to her channel. All right, show us some love. Salute to my man, Random Thoughts with Eric G. Salute to my family, Kimberly, KMA, Rawdo, Von Eric. I see y'all in the building. So I got a question, right? Since y'all talking about relationships, y'all open up the bag. Well, I guess Dark Lake open up the bag. Hopefully he comes back. All right, so my question is this, right? And I'm gonna ask all of you, right? Is there a certain amount of money a person has to make, right? Bolo, let's say you single again, right? Scam, I don't know where you're at. And Mo, you ain't got to divulge where you at with yours, but is there a certain amount of money that a person has to make in order for you to be with them? I mean, you keep it G. It is what it is.
I hate that question.
So do I.
You got to just be honest. It's all right. If you don't want a brother that works at McDonald's, it's all good.
I try not to get caught up in that. If you can take care of you, if you are not taking from me, and maybe you can't add a lot financially, but you can add a lot in other ways, we're good. Two hardworking people, I can work with you.
Scam?
Yes. 0.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I listen, at the end of the day, my thought process is we can figure it out.
Yes.
We'll figure it out because at the end of the day, listen, we came to this world with nothing. We're going to leave it with nothing. And that's that love that, there was a movie called Buck and the Preacher. I don't know if you cats ever seen it, with Sidney Poitier and Harry Belafonte.
Oh, you digging in the crates right now, Bolo. No.
Yeah. Yo, the movie's a good movie, man. It's a good movie. If you haven't seen
What is it called?
Buck and the Preacher. There's always one part that stands out. And the preacher, the preacher, Sidney Poitier, he's off doing his thing. His wife is in the crib. She's cooking, right? And they show you her preparing dinner or whatever. He walks into the crib and says, yo, we got to go. There was no thought. And the way he said we got to go, we leaving the house. We leaving. We out. They were tuned. Because as long as we have each other, we can figure it out. That's it. Yeah. As long as you have me and I have you, no matter where we go, our home is here. It's with us. We created. So no matter where we lay our hat at, baby, that's where our home is. And that part always stuck with me. As soon as he walked in, yo, let's go. She grabbed the rifle, grabbed a little bag, and they was out. She didn't sit there and say, well, what about it? She ain't say none of that. She was tapped in. She was tuned in. And that's our problem. We're not tuned into each other.
Right.
You know, we did a video the other day on Testimony Friday where we had a tuner. A guy had a 12 megahertz tuner and a ball on a string. And he had a 512 tuner. And he hit the 512 tuner. It didn't move. When he got the 412 tuner, another one, and he hit it, it bounced between the two. We have to resonate on the same frequency, or we can't talk to each other. This is why a lot of conversations get mixed up. And this is why scam is needed, right? Because a lot of these conversations that we're having, everyone is on a 512 megahertz, one is on 412, the other's on 785. Everyone is talking different languages. You might as well speak different languages in the room. No one is listening to each other. Everyone is just trying to get their point across and trying to get that 15-minute clip or that 10-second clip or that mic drop. Instead of saying, you know what, let me hear what the women are saying and address what the women are saying. And the women need to say, let me hear what the men are saying and address what they're saying. Nope. You know what it becomes? Your fault, my fault, their fault, this fault, that fault, this fault. And that's when scam comes in and he says, hey, now he just blows up the whole place.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because no one is hearing each other.
Right.
No one is hearing each other. And that's the point. We try to separate because we try to be intellectually smart. You know, the more smart you become, the more stupid you are. I sit here and I have conversations with people, and I sit here and they think just because these people think, because they got this plaque or whatever, they think they're smart and they're actually dumb. They're more inundated with what's being taught to them and more blinded to the fact, more brainwashed to the fact, or brain dirty to the fact that they're being taught and being the free thought that they should have is gone. They're unable to understand what's going on. They're unable to articulate. Even when we're having this conversation between love and duty, like and love, cats can't tell the difference. Cats can't really articulate. They melt it, and this is why words are important, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you an example. If Mo Love came to you two, to Scam and 84, and said, yo, I just got off the phone with Bolo and he had an attitude. Scam, what are you gonna think?
You just got off on the phone with who and they had attitude?
She just got off the phone with Bolo and he had an attitude. What are you gonna think?
He's having a bad day.
Okay.
Because I know y'all just some regular argument, bad day on one of y'all's behalf.
Okay. 84.
I know y'all.
I'm like, that's just Bolo being Bolo. You be all right.
Now here's the thing. The word attitude don't mean bad. Attitude can just be I was in a good attitude. But
Well,
see,
the implied meaning behind having an attitude.
there you go.
Yeah.
Because we use
That's the implied meaning.
because we use the word attitude in a negative connotation, that
Mhm.
just what Scam said, because she said it, the inference.
We
is-
say had an attitude implies the negative.
There you go.
You have an attitude, had an attitude.
Right.
Right.
When that word in itself doesn't mean that. So even if I use it in the way he's saying it, if I look at it for what it is, it doesn't mean how it's said. But because of the negativity and that negative connotation that's put on it, this is what we think. This is the problem. Yo, I was talking to Mo Love and she was smelly. People are going to think she smelled dirty. Smelly just means that whatever she was smelling like, it was in excess. That's all it means. But we use smelly so wrong. We use it so negatively, it means bad.
Mhm.
That's the point. So now we got to start to deconstruct this nonsense that we've been taught all our life and start looking at what the truth really is, because it's in our face. But because we've been taught this lie in front of us, we now have to put these shades on, they live, and see the truth for what it really is. And it's hard because if I've been in darkness all my life, the light's going to hurt my eyes. And we typically take pain to mean something negative when pain can mean something positive. When you work out, you go through pain. That's positive. That means you're getting to your goal. We got to work. We got to recalibrate our brains to understand things. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Good point.
Now, Bolo,
Well,
you do
go ahead.
realize what you said was based on a movie, right?
They live.
It's a movie. So I just want-
No, he's talking reality.
That's why I referred to the. Listen, let me explain something to you. When I seen The Matrix the first time, I sat there and said, "These people, they stealing.
Before it's so clearly.
It's the Bible. Morpheus is John the Baptist. Neo is Christ.
Mhm.
Zion. And when Neo, right, before he died, he didn't believe. Before he died, he was tempted.
Mhm.
Right? After he died, who kissed him? Trinity. Trinity. kissed him. Trinity. And now he comes back and he's the one. Dog, you can't make this up. You can't make it up. They live. They inundate you with all of this negativity and all this bad stuff and all this wicked stuff that it's hard for you to see it. And when they put those glasses on, it hurt their head. Because now you have to decipher everything that you were taught. Everything that you taught, up is down, down is left, up. You have to now recalibrate your mind to where we think like is love. Can we imagine that we think like is love?
Mm.
We try to separate duty from love. How do you separate duty and love when they both cannot? They're intertwined together. How do you separate it? You don't. You can't.
But Bolo,
Yes, sir.
look at it's a combination of two things I see out here. And I ain't perfect either. I got 4 gallons of dust. You're seeing combinations of what people were taught that was wrong
Right.
and what they weren't taught.
Right.
Relationships is an unregulated space, just like parenting. So people can throw anything out there and everything is all of a sudden always right. The women are all right. The content creators are right. Your parents are always right. Grandparents are always right. Men's, women's, dog and a goat, everybody's right. And it's always somebody else that's wrong. But there's no reference because the Bible isn't right because it's your interpretation and the
No,
old King James and the James Jenkins versions.
Right.
So if it's unregulated, then you got the data and statistics mafia, which I can't stand them. Because I'm like, how y'all blame everything on women's when women's told you what the problems were? Communication, infidelity,
Mhm.
incompatibility. When they say it by their actions, and it shows on the data and statistics, every race, everywhere, but it's never even a part of the conversation.
Mm.
But there's a level of grace because I understand that people don't know. Because
Right.
I come from what's considered the better 2-car garages and uppity green grass in the yard
Silver
black
spoon.
community,
Yeah.
the Cosby style, and they ain't tell us nothing either. We was taught wrong.
Hold on real quick.
Like,
Do y'all
other
know
people were taught wrong.
Jamor?
Oh, go
I'm
ahead.
sorry to interrupt you.
Go ahead.
Somebody's trying to come up. Jamor Smalls.
I know them. I know them.
Oh, you know them? Okay.
Okay. Hi.
What's going on? But yeah, just simply put, there's a lot of stuff missing.
Yeah, there is, and this is what makes it. This is what makes it so beautiful. What makes it so beautiful it's organized confusion. What makes it so beautiful, because when you're looking at it from a counselor's perspective, you're sitting there saying all these people think that they're good and they're not, and you sit here and say, okay, so let's deal with this individually, right? Because when you have 50 different people talking at the same time, whatever you're trying to give them and make it stick, it gets thrown out the door when the next person come with their nonsense and trash and garbage. I'll give you an example. I was on a
Dust panel.
a dustpan. I think you were there, and there was one dude, and I came in late. So this one dude is talking about women being birds.
Duh.
You was there. So you know who I'm talking.
Oh, everybody.
I ran him off a panel before.
Birds. Now you know me. I don't like to offend. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes the words that you say, they offend. It's not me saying anything towards anybody because I'm not here to. I want to gain my brother and my sister opposed to push them away.
Right.
So what bugs me is my question was, because he bird. So my question was, brother, you married? No. Okay. Are you in a relationship? Yeah. Okay. Forgive me for saying this. Are you with a bird? Yeah. I said, yeah, come on, man. Come on, man. You just finished giving us a 30-minute soliloquy on what birds and what they're not deserving of, and you got one in your bed?
Explain.
And it got ugly. It got a little ugly. And I'm like, nah, I'm not trying to, I'm trying to understand. If I'm telling you don't smoke crack, don't smoke crack, and I'm up here pushing it, you gonna say, well, let me ask you a question, bro. Did you ever smoke crack? Yes. Do you still smoke crack? You would hopefully hear me say, no.
Mm-hmm.
This dude said, yeah, I got a bird in the house. I said, you're unqualified to talk. You're unqualified to talk because you're talking about someone. We can learn what not to be like. Everyone, look, don't be like this. A bird is a chick that's not deserving. You know, these chicks that's for the street. That's what they call them, birds. So I said, Duke, you're a bird catcher. You're worse than the bird. You know why you're worse? And sometimes I could be bad because I overthink things sometimes. You got to get dressed to put on bird catcher clothes.
What are bird catcher clothes?
You got to put on bird. Listen, if I'm gonna go quail hunting, I can't go in Giuseppe shoes.
Mm-hmm.
The same thing I told somebody on the dust panel.
I gotta throw on appropriate clothes. You feel what I'm saying? 84. I gotta put on appropriate clothes. Right? We're about to go into the swamp.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm gonna go catch birds, I gotta put on bird catcher attire. I gotta put on bird catcher smell goods. Okay, I gotta assemble my bird catcher team and all these things. You did all of this preparation to go to where the birds are. The birds are where the birds are. They don't come to you. You go to them. So of course, you are them. You are. Because you went to them. Same thing I say to the women. These Pookies and Ray Rays, you're the one that went and wore the shirt that props up your breasts so you can't see your feet. You did that. You went and got dressed a certain way so you can attract the Pookies and the Ray Rays, air quotes. You did that. And then when you get them, you complain. Look in the damn mirror. Nobody wants to look in the mirror. It's easier to point the blame at Bolo, at Scam, at Mo, at 84, because when you realize you're the problem, you then have to become the solution. You then have to fix it. And it's easier for me to say you're the problem because mediocrity is the new standard.
Sadly,
I don't have to fix nothing. So I want a chick that ain't going to talk to me about fixing nothing because I'm not going to ask her to fix anything. So here we are in this perpetual cycle of nonsense and trash, and we're going to continue to blame relationships and marriage when it's not the marriage. It's not the institution of marriage is trash. It's you. You're trash.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the point. When we can look in the mirror and realize and say, you know what, I'm doing something wrong. That's where growth starts. So when we're sitting there saying, I can fall out of love, dude, you was never in love. That's why I went straight to Christ. Can Christ look at you and say, I don't love you tomorrow? And then Dark Lake says, yeah, but he can hate you. No, he hates what you do. Well, no. The scripture says he doesn't want anyone to die. That's what the word says.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't want anyone to perish. He wants that everyone make it to the kingdom, but he knows everyone is not. People are going to sit here and say, that's why I asked him, what is hell? Hell is your choice of being separated from the Father. That's what hell is.
Mm-hmm.
What is darkness? No light. What is cold? No heat. There you go. It's the absence of that being. It's the absence of his glory. It's simple. Simple. So we mistake like for love because they have similar traits, same as sadness and depression. A lot of people, this is the sadness with it, right? Like in today, you know, in the information time, you know, information age, a lot of people don't know the signs of depression. You know what I'm saying? What do parents say? Man, just get your act together, man. This kid is being bullied in school all day. You just got to fight. It ain't just about that. It's bigger than that. They don't have the self-esteem that they should have had because of you. So when they go there, they don't have that strength, that confidence within themselves.
Is it always because of the parents?
Is what?
I'm just giving that example.
What's your question, my love?
She said, is it always because of the
If your
parents?
child suffers with self-esteem issues,
No, it's not always. It's not always. But I'm just giving that example for this point that I'm
I'm
trying.
gonna say yes.
wow,
You know, it's
wow, okay.
for this example that I'm giving, that if you didn't set up a cohesive environment, like Scam said earlier, a
Mhm.
cohesive environment, you know, when a child is young, when you create that environment where everything circles around them, they must, you know, they say to themselves, I gotta be important because everything around me is about me.
Mhm.
Creates a self-esteem, right? Now, there are other things that can be added to that can, you know, draw them left. It is what it is. I don't want to make this conversation too deep, but the point of the matter is, you know, parents that don't know, they will think that their child is just sad. So
Mhm.
all they need to do is go to the movies or do such and such when it's something deeper. Why do you think these kids? Why do you think these young girls and young boys are taking their lives, dog?
Mhm.
It's something deeper, but we don't know until it's too late. So the point that I'm saying is, although sadness and depression share common traits, although like and love share common traits, they are two different things altogether. You know who said it best? One Love, Houdini. They said it best.
Mhm.
Although love and like are both four letters, but they're two different things altogether.
I like the way you express the love and duty thing. How they run together.
Thank
Because a lot of people just want to flip it. They're not getting love because they didn't give love, and then throw the duty back on the woman and say, why is she leaving? And say the problem is these people don't respect duty.
I said something on my channel and I got pushback.
Like duty to what?
I said something on my channel and I got pushback for it. I think Mo gave me a little pushback until she asked a question. I gave her my explanation and she was like, okay, I understand.
On what?
Remember when I said the way women want to be loved today is not the way as men we should love them?
No, you said
What type of women are we talking about?
I'm talking about the way women want to be loved today is not the
You
love.
said you don't have to love a woman the way she wants to be loved.
Correct. In the same way, the way a man wants
I
to be
think I know
loved,
where you're going with it.
the way a man wants to be loved, you're not supposed to love him that way because it's selfish. It's not Christ. It's not biblical. It's not based on service because this is what the world taught us. And this goes for both genders, for both men and women. The way we were taught love is not what it's supposed to be. It's not. It's not what it's supposed to be. This is what Scared's been talking about.
My pushback was, if you are loving your wife, right, according to Christ, the way he set it up, then
Right.
you are considerate of the way she wants to be loved.
Absolutely. But you're considerate of you being in service to her.
Right.
The way women want to be loved today is they want to stay home while a man go out and take care of everything, and
Right,
they're babies.
I was going to ask, what narrative or what is it that you're suggesting is the way that they want to be loved?
That's how they want to be loved. The way men want to be loved. The way men want to be loved today. No, I'm not saying that's what you were saying. I'm saying that's what the world pushes, right?
But Lolo,
Yes.
right? Okay, I'm just gonna keep it G, right? We know there's different rules for different people when it comes to love,
Okay.
right?
What do
Like you'll listen, okay, and I'm using an example.
So it's not really love. Okay. Right.
No, but it's true. No, it's true. Come on, can we stop this? Like,
What do you
come
mean?
on,
What do you mean? No, go into it. What do you mean?
Listen, one of my siblings, right?
Uh-huh.
They was with one person, right?
He was with who?
It was one of my siblings, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was with one person. They was willing to do one thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they wasn't willing to do something else, right? They got with this new person,
Mm-hmm.
and man, they doing like, you know, daycare and all this
Everything.
other stuff, things that I ain't never seen them ever do.
Okay.
Right? So
Right.
it's like we know that like for certain people you want to do certain things for, and for certain people you're not. It could be based on looks, it could be based on finances, it could be based on whatever.
Well, see,
You know
that
what I mean?
goes into what is doesn't that go into what Mo and what 84, I mean what Scam was saying, right? In other words, meaning when you find that right tune,
There
you're
you
both
go.
you're both gonna resonate. That was the point that I was making with Dark Lake. That
Mm,
there might be something about her that even though I tried to make it work, that's not who the Lord wanted me with. Right? So now when I meet that woman, we we moving on all cylinders. We're moving on all cylinders, and vice versa. That dude that you was looking for, the Lord didn't want you with that guy, but the one that you do find, you're moving. There's certain things that you take from him that you wouldn't take from any other man. There's certain things you take from her that you
facts.
wouldn't take from any other woman because of that connection that you guys have created, and know that this is something deeper than you. This is something bigger than you. See, this like that we talk about, it's confined to just two people. That's what like is. It's about just me and you. I like you, you like me. Let's just keep it here. When you're talking about that love, brother, that Scam is talking about, that love that Christ is pushing, it ain't about you. It's bigger than you. It's about you two and him.
I'll talk about two different versions of love, I guess.
Talk to us.
Okay. The first version is the one that's being neglected. And I'll use a like example, but I'm trying to express love. Just hear me out. When you're in fifth grade and there's that cute girl with the funny looking hair and the glasses, you ain't got no money, you ain't got no rims, no gold teeth, nothing. But you're following around, pulling her hair, or she got that dude and she's following him around with a soccer ball. There's no money, there's no high value, none of the junk. But there's some kind of connection, some kind of energy, something intangible that draws these two people together. Just like when two people are grown and supposed to be married. The most common thing that we do is communicate. Where man is with his wife, the AC ain't working, and they're sitting on the couch making it work, saying, I guess we'll get it fixed tomorrow. Or they're sitting in the car, just chilling and having a good time for an hour. It's not about some big movie, some big thing going on, but it's the little things. And these two people are connected. That type of love. The other love is what Bolo is saying is it's kind of the love and the duty combined. Where Ephesians, man, this is what you need to do to love your wife. Wife, this is what you need to do to love your man. And also this is how you raise your kids. Meaning, yeah, you can go get them some gold teeth. You can twerk and all that, but look, is that what you're really supposed to be doing? And some of it I get. It'll make your person happy. But it shouldn't be 95% of the relationship founded on junk. It's supposed to be founded on something of value, like morals, values, trying to do something in a positive manner that glorifies God. So you can have 5, 10, 15% of whatever. I mean, let's be real.
Can I say this to you?
The majority is supposed to be.
Ooh, I got a crazy question for Bolo too.
Let me
Go
say
ahead,
this.
Bolo.
Let me say this, and I use this as an example, right? I want all of you to picture a ladder. Okay? Picture a ladder, and it's opened. Okay? And at the top of the ladder is God. On the left side is your wife, and on the right side of your wife is you, right? As you climb that ladder, what starts to happen?
You said an open ladder?
Open ladder, right? It's an open ladder.
I'm trying to picture this open ladder. Open?
Don't feel bad, Scam. He got me with this too, Scam. Don't feel bad.
It's an open ladder. It's open. You know what I'm saying? You know the triangle? Open ladder. It's opened. You have it opened.
Open ladder.
It's a triangle, a triangle ladder.
Oh, the ladder that's shaped like an A, not the one that leans on the roof.
No, it's a ladder shaped like an A.
Oh, okay. Open. Got it.
Top of that ladder is God. At the bottom on the left-hand side is your wife, and you're on the right-hand side. What happens? Red Bull, a A-frame ladder. As you start to climb that ladder, what starts to happen between you and your wife?
If it's an A-frame, you're kind of getting closer
Boom.
as long as she is climbing
As
also.
long, as long as both of you are climbing together, closer to God, y'all get closer.
Mhm.
When you stay at the bottom and it's about you, you're separate. That's
Right.
what this is about. This isn't about us. You create a ceiling when you think that marriage is just about you and your wife. When you create that marriage and know that it's about the Father, at the end of the day, there is no ceiling. Sky's the limit. There is none. There's no place where you two can't go.
Mhm.
There's no place. And here's the thing: forgiveness and grace and mercy is unlimited. Because who is the who is the guide? Christ is. Because when you're the guide, understand something. Your mercy and grace is only going to go so far, my G. Before you're like, man, I'm
So
done.
far.
It's only going to go so far. But when you continue to reach for that perfect thing that is unattainable, you continue to say, damn, you know what? She's tripping and bugging. Now, I'm not going to stand for it. I'm not telling you to be a doormat, but you still have that empathy and sympathy as 84 was talking about earlier.
Bolo trying to take people's dreams, man. Bolo, you're not gonna steal my dream of being with Janet or Holly Berry or Alex Isaac. You're not stealing my dream.
Hey, brother,
You're
listen,
not
if
stealing
that's
my
the woman,
dream.
if that's the woman that God has for you, guess what? Can't nobody keep that from you.
Lord, please.
I'm trying to get with pearly things. I'm just saying.
Lord, please.
What I'm
But Bolo,
saying.
my question
Not
to you
really,
is this, Bolo, right? Of
Yes.
all the marriages that you've seen, and I know Young Riaz definitely wants to talk, but I just gotta ask this one question now. I won't ask nothing else. All the marriages you've seen, Bolo, keep it G, right? Whether people that you know or people that you have seen or whatever, how many of them, percentage wise, are good marriages and how many of them are not? If you can give a percentage.
Percentage? I would
Yes, sir.
say, now again, remember, I'm going off my own anecdotal experience, right? I would say about, I would say 68%.
68% are what?
Good. Now,
What
just because
qualifies as
Wow, that's
good?
a high number.
now hold this now. Now understand, doesn't mean that they don't have problems. The 68% in good meaning that they're not going to give up.
Mhm.
Now,
My
there are
percentage is
things
different.
there are things that they have to work out. Now understand now, I'm counseling couples too. So you can know, listen, there are certain questions that I ask, and you can already tell when someone's already checked out. You could tell.
Well, Bolo, you're going to have a higher number because you're talking about couples that are willing to go to counseling. Number one.
I mean, even if I'm just counseling one person.
No, meaning
But
willing,
what I'm
just
saying is
like.
that, but what I'm saying to you is I don't just counsel couples. I'll
No, I
counsel.
got you. I'm just
So
saying.
what I'm saying to you is, but what he's saying is just in my total of experience in life, even before I started counseling people, right? Just marriages that I've seen that been around me. I would say about 68%. And the one thing now that I'm into, now that I can correlate everything and I'm able to understand it and articulate it. What keeps them together is knowing that we're not going nowhere. We're going to figure it out. Yes, we have a lot of issues. We have a lot of problems, but we're going to figure it out. So that's what I constitute a good marriage, right? That's what I
And
constitute a
Bolo,
perfect.
I wish I had your experience, Bolo, because mine is different. I would say 90% are bad and
God
like
damn.
10% are good. No, I'm just serious. I'm sorry.
90% of what is bad?
He said
Marriages.
Marriages that I've
marriages.
seen are bad. I'm sorry.
90% of what?
Marriages.
Marriages that I've seen are bad.
Oh.
My
10%
number's
are
in
good.
between y'all's.
What's your number?
Successfully married, I say about 10%.
But
But
what
there's
is
levels.
successful? But what is successful?
Successfully married, these two people rocking, and you
But
can't break that bond. These are
okay,
two
Fact.
people that you know are supposed to be together, rocking.
right?
The energy is transferable even to
They
the
have
kids. And the dog.
problems. But do they have issues and problems?
Yeah, everybody got issues and problems. People
Okay.
don't- yeah, but then that's the highest level. Then you got functioning marriages.
Okay.
More problems, more whatever, making it work. Then there's surviving or hanging on by a thread.
Hold on. Before you go
I
into the
would say
surviving,
about 80,
functioning.
85% is dysfunctional.
What
Like,
about when you say functional? What do you mean by functional?
Just another level. Top of the line, successful. They rocking.
Now I know
Functional,
functional. Go ahead,
right through some things, some ups and downs, but fairly good.
but they'll work it out.
Yes, they'll
Okay.
be together. Sometimes sour face.
Got you.
Sometimes you don't want to go over there for the holidays, but most of the times you do.
Got you. That's
Then
most. That's most. That's most.
Then I'll say survival marriages,
Right. Okay.
where they hang on by a
Coexistence.
thread.
Okay.
Under that is the zombie marriage. This marriage died 15 years ago as a carcass in a living room with a USB cable sticking in it. And it's like, man, it's
So
dead.
let me ask you
They're
this.
just there.
Let me ask you
They
this.
don't know how to
I
walk out
think
the
that
door.
this can work at the coexistence phase though, where basically both agree to stay together and love is there, but at the same time they're gonna do their own thing at the same time. So they
Some of
just got
that,
that type
or
of
they're
thing. Yeah,
just there.
coexistent marriage though. That's my parent marriage though. Both
Yeah.
got love for each other, but they basically focused on their own thing though. So they just remain together and that's it though. That's coexisting.
That's
So
not
this hit a phase.
good.
Scam. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Of the ones you gave 3, right? You gave the spectacular marriage. You had the functional marriage. You have the one that's holding on
And
by.
then the zombie marriage. 4.
Let's deal with
Wait,
3.
what do you define as a zombie marriage though? That's the question though.
You don't react.
The zombie marriage. Hold on one second, Riaz.
I'll
The-
get to it. Go ahead.
Okay,
Those three categories. If
Mhm.
you had to put the number together, what would be their percentage?
I'll say 10% successful,
Okay,
20% functional,
that's 30.
25% survival. I'll use survival as a word.
So you're
It's
saying-
fighting for survival.
So you're saying 55%.
Then the zombie.
Forget
is,
the zombie. Forget the zombie right now. So
Okay.
you're saying because here's the thing: as long as you're willing to make it work, it's a workable marriage.
That was my next point.
That was the point. So you're
Hold
saying
on.
above average.
Most successful and functional, most of those will still be together for a long time.
Okay.
With survival and zombie, they're not going to know each other 5 years from now. Some of them 5 days from now. Most of the people you see walking around, or even on these panels that are married,
Right.
most of these people will not be married in 2030.
Okay.
50 something percent.
I can dig that.
And honestly, I'll say this, and it's not to take a shot. Bolo, you've been around enough. You could probably take bets in Vegas and win a lot of money knowing which ones just off of how the men or the women talk.
Yes. 100%.
I might not be able to catch as many as you, but I do more than break even.
I
I'll
think
make a profit.
Yeah, I think anybody, if they focus, they'll see. I think anybody, if they focus, they'll see it. You know what I'm saying? You'll see. If you're able to take yourself out of the equation and you're able to just be, and you'll see it for what it is. You know, I think a lot of the times what skews people's thought process is because, you know, they're a woman or I'm a man, and you know, when you hear someone's plight, you take sides. And you become biased instead of unbiased. And that's why you can't understand it. But even if we go with what you're saying, with the spectacular and the functional, that's still 30%. It's still 30%, you know? So, and again, understand this. Everyone's not going to make it, my G.
Yeah.
Everyone's not going to make it. And, you know, we talk about this and it's unfortunate, but everyone is not going to make it. So, we have to keep that thought process. But young Riaz, I'm sorry I kept you so long because I'm long-winded. But go ahead, my brother.
Okay, no problem. I understand, man. I was just asking the question, what is zombie marriage when you said that, though? Can you define what that means, though?
Oh, it means these two people don't like each other, love each other, and I don't know why they married. Or you do know why they married. One of them needs health insurance. They ain't had sex in 4 years. One of them, they to the point where they're cheating and the person doesn't even care. That's zombie marriage.
Where they just exist, basically.
They're just there. And
Coexisting.
hold on, I'll say this. 1952, 62, and 67, them perfect 80-90% marriage rates, 50 to 60% of those marriages were zombies. That was a norm. That's my belief.
Mm-hmm.
They just be lying. But go ahead.
Okay, so basically they say it's perfect from the outside, but in the inside something's worse though.
No,
So
zombies, you can see it from the outside. These people don't like each other.
no, I know they don't like each other. I'm saying on the outside though, but I'm saying in the inside in the home though, when no one's looking though. Is that what you mean though? They're just stuff that no one can see.
No, you can see zombie marriages. You can see them.
Oh, okay.
The two that are easy to scope out is the zombie and the spectacular that he was talking.
Yes.
Those are the two that are easy to kind of see. You can see those two from a mile away. And then sometimes you have to sit down and look at it because sometimes that can be an act also. You know what I mean? So
I'll say this too. A zombie marriage can be repaired.
absolutely.
Highly likely not. Like I had a cousin who divorced her husband, then got remarried to her husband, and they're rocking now. They had divorced before. But there's also successful marriages that can crumble. Highly likely not, but anything can happen. It's like, hold up, y'all too? What? Man, I love, man. This is my soulmate. They can crack.
Okay.
I agree with Scam.
But highly likely not.
Most marriages are bad. I hate to say it. Hey, most marriages are bad. I'm sorry. I hate to say it. I'm sorry.
I won't say bad.
I'm gonna say it.
Well,
It's all right. You ain't got to. I'll say it for you.
I'll say most marriages on a scale of 1 to 10, most marriages rank about a 4.
But Mo Love, I wanted you because you
Well, maybe 3.5. I'm thinking about it.
Mo, you there? You there, Mo?
Here, I'm just listening.
Yeah, I wanted you to because I mean we kind of veered off a whole lot from the topic, which was I know that you wanted to kind of bring up 1 Corinthians 13, 1 through 7.
It's still
No.
within the conversation though, but yeah.
Yeah, so go ahead.
I think a lot of the issue is because we don't emphasize what the scriptures say that love truly is. And World Class mentioned it earlier. 1 Corinthians 13, you can the first scripture start out. I lost my place.
I can get it for you. You want me to read it for you?
It's so long.
Hey, yo, Riaz, what are you eating?
No,
What are
this
you
is
eating,
nice
bro?
part.
Oh, freeze pop.
You
Yep.
want
Agree as always.
yeah. You want me to read it for you, Mo? Or you got it?
Yeah, that's cool.
You want me to read it?
You can. I
Okay.
just kind of lost my space.
Okay. So
Oh.
I'll read it, and then you just let me know when you want to jump in. Okay.
I was just gonna go verse by verse.
Okay. So go ahead. You got it?
First verse, though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels and have not charity, I am become as sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal. That's basically saying that so many of us can say all the right things, whether it's spiritually or if it's pertaining to a relationship. But if there's no real love behind what the person is saying, then it's really just noise. And when it comes to relationships, like saying, I love you, but if you constantly lie or manipulate the person or ignore their needs, it's basically empty. Real love is supposed to be felt and not just heard. And I think that that's a huge issue today. So many people can say the right things, but it's not being shown through deed. And the second verse, and though I have the gift of prophecy, and this could be relatable to um, all types of relationships and connections in real life. And though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge and have not charity, I am nothing. So no matter how deep or how wise you may think you are, spiritually powerful, it's pointless if love is not implemented. Because love is key in our relationships. Even when you like a person can pray over you if in relationships and still cheat. And I think sometimes we get caught up because we focus so much on the little bit of good and we don't pay attention to the manipulation that can happen. Or even when it comes to women, like you could like uplift your man and give him great advice but still belittle him. That's not really operating love. And love is the foundation. Um that really keeps things together. But the thing is true love. And I think that's what's missing. We don't really know like what it is, you know? So do you want to expound on that? Like the first verses? I would know.
Yeah.
I'd like to expound on it real quickly.
I'd like to add something.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're lacking love. Oh, love your women's. Oh yeah, go ahead. Y'all got it.
What is that? Is that your little
Yeah, it's a little damn cute.
the
So-
harmonica?
So, going off what Mo just read, right? 1 to 3. So basically, what it's saying is, you can be an eloquent speaker or a brilliant thinker. You can be a miracle worker or a generous martyr. But if love isn't the motive, it's just noise, right? That's what the clinging symbol is. It's just noise. This strikes deep because God doesn't just look at what we do, he inspects why we do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's important. Love is the currency of heaven. Everything else is monopoly money. So I know Young Riaz wanted to get involved in that. Go ahead, Young Riaz.
Okay. So is it probably also it's also with inside too though like when you say though, it's not just when you do it from the outside as well. You have to do it the inside too though. Because sometimes it's also within as well though. Because it's not just applied when you're actually in a relationship, it's also applied to yourself though. You can tell yourself that you feel positive and you're good and you love you, but do you actually feel that as well when you actually spend that type of thing though? So it's kind of deep as well though. And when you say you actually love God as well, is it really within your heart as well though? Because that's because God knows though if you actually love Him or not. Because it's within your heart as well. Because your heart, it's like a black mark or it's like a fire basically. Say it's like fire or light, where basically that fire or light increases depending on your deeds though. And the more and more bad you do, the more and more it dims. And when it actually extinguishes or when the light is gone though, your connection to God is gone though. Or like basically your heart. Let's say it's a black mark in your heart. The more and more it spreads, the more and more it becomes black. And when you have a black heart, your connection to God is gone though. So that means that when you actually pray with a black heart, it means no tears and it means nothing because your connection's gone now. So it's kind of deep as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to read the 4th verse to what
Bro, I think we were on 3.
Yeah, but that still goes into what I said as far as, all of that stuff. Because remember, what he's writing to the church of Corinth, and the church of Corinth was caught up on outwardly things. So this is why Paul is speaking the way he's speaking right here from 1 to 3. That all of that outwardly stuff means nothing if it's not based in the spirit. If it's not based with love and your motivation isn't love, it means nothing. So that's when he goes into verse 4 and he talks about love suffers long and is kind. Love does not envy. Love does not parade itself. It's not puffed up, right? So the understanding is it's charity, suffereth long, and is kind. So love is patient. It endures injury without retaliating. It waits without complaint. Love is kind, not just passive, but active in doing good. This is God's posture towards us, even when we fail Him, right? Can we
Mhm.
offer that grace to others? Can we be these things to each other? And this is why we do what we do. This is why we're up for so late. You know, we're trying to emulate what the Father does for us, and we're trying to be that one to another. We're trying to create that environment that people can be safe and to have these conversations, these real conversations, and come to conclusions and come to to solutions, opposed
Mhm.
to always just throwing, spitballs against the wall and see what will stick. So I don't know if you want to respond to that, Mo Love, or add to it.
So yeah, when it speaks of love suffereth long or charity suffereth long and is kind, charity envieth not, charity wanted not itself, or is not puffed and is not puffed up. So love is patient, and a lot of times we don't see that today. We're not really patient with one another. That's why I'll often ask, like, is what we the way that we view love, is it really love? Like, are we really using that term too loosely? And absolutely, we are. Love is kind, and when things aren't perfect, and I think a lot of us look for perfection. A lot of us approach things with a critical spirit because we're broken, so we can't see things through a more positive lens. It just is so many dynamics to the topic. And when it says love doesn't envy, that's so true. Like, real love doesn't get jealous of anything, whether it's in friendships or when it's with your partner. Um, it's not arrogant. It doesn't act like it's better than the next person. Love is gentle, it's humble, and it leads you to a place of security. So what people view as love today is not. It's
Mm.
not from what I see.
Mo, I think people do. People do. I do. Oh my gosh, I'm being tongue tied. Sorry. I think people do want to have patience and all those things when it comes to love, right? They
Hmm.
don't. They don't
It's
want to envy and all those other things, right? But I think also at times, and you're right, that's what love really is. I think also at times when people are administering love, people are taking
mhm,
their love and they're taking it for granted, right? So
right.
yes, people do need to be more patient and things of that nature. Of course, you are right. That is a problem. I also think the other problem is that when people are showing that love, you know what I mean. People are taking it for granted, and then they're casting their pearls to a pig, and then that makes them be like, you know what, forget it. I'm not even gonna even try to do this ever again. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Mhm.
Scam, did you say anything? Or I mean, did you have anything for that or no?
No, just some dust.
Oh, good.
Now, well, I'll just say this. Um, in a lot of conversations, love is one sided, where one party is trying to tell the other party what love is based on what they're deciding to give versus what the other person needs and what the other person feels. And that doesn't work.
Right.
That's all I got.
I definitely agree. What was the new verse? Was it five?
Yeah, you're at 5. Does not believe rudely, does not seek its own, it's not provoked, thinks no evil. Uh, verse 6, does not rejoice in iniquity, but rejoices in the truth. And verse 7, bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things.
Mm. So verse 6, love doesn't rejoice in iniquity, but rejoices in truth. That's true. Um, rejoices not in iniquity. But how many times do we see people rejoice when they see people going through like their worst moments?
They
See
find,
people,
people, especially in relationships, Mo, people find,
right?
when they feel like, when the other feels that they're not being heard and something happens to the other, they rejoice in it. Like, yeah, you see, you know, love doesn't cheer when someone fails or falls into sin. It doesn't take pleasure in gossip or destruction. Instead, it celebrates honesty, repentance, and righteousness. Love wants to see people healed, not exposed. In
Oh,
this,
that's so good. You said love wants to see people heal, not exposed.
so that's what we're trying to create. And
Hmm.
that's the part of where duty, because again, all of these things have to be fostered, right? Love is the vehicle that we all sit in, right? All five of us are sitting in this car. But what makes the car move? Duty. Love is the vehicle. Duty is the gas, the propellant that's in the car that keeps it moving, right? Because without that propellant, we can't move. We're just sitting in a case. It's not getting us nowhere. And here's the thing, and I think this goes to what Scam was talking about. We get so caught up sometime in movement for progress. We
Hmm.
think movement is progress when it's not. So, yeah.
Right.
And then when we look at the last verse, right? Beareth, believeth, hopeth, and endure all things. This is the crescendo. Does everyone know what a crescendo is?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So crescendos, for those in the chat that don't, crescendos is like if you listen to operas. It's
Hmm.
when that portion of the song starts from a low portion and it gets loud, right? That's the ending. It's blow up. Same thing like in a movie. This is the culmination. This is what you've been waiting for. You've been waiting for this one part. That's the crescendo. So the mountaintop of what love can do, it bears the weight. It believes the best. It hopes when others give up, and it endures when others scream quit. That's why I said to you that the perfect relationship, perfect marriage, is two that don't give up on each other. This is not an ordinary love. This is God's love, the kind of, that hang, the kind of love that hung on the cross. So, um, First Corinthians is not just a wedding poem. It's not a spiritual diagnostics. It asks us what love, selfless or self-serving. Do I love people like Christ loves me? Potentially, patiently, I mean, with humility, sacrificing. This kind of love is not natural, it's supernatural. It's the fruit of the Spirit, not the work of the flesh. We can't fake it. We must abide in Christ and in his love will flow through us. That's why I said that's the difference between like and love. There's a difference. There's a difference.
It
So
can be different.
so the next time we're tempted to impress with gifts, knowledge, or acts, let us first ask, is love leading this? Because in God's kingdom, love is the measure, not the success, not applause, not
Mhm.
sacrifice, but love. So, yeah,
That was good.
we came to an understanding, man. And that's all we need to do. And that's what we
As
should
we always say, love is addiction.
do. He's trying to start us over. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to start us over from the beginning. No, no.
Oh, maybe he was because he said it's called love is addictive. It's called I don't know.
Mm, I don't know. It can be though. If it can be. I don't know. Depends on the person as well. I don't know to be honest though. What the person's saying though, but I don't know. It can be though, depending on what it is though. But yeah, I just, when I was after looking out for that, I just recently woke up though. Recently woke up and caught what I caught, so I did try to, say what I need to say though.
Mm. Yeah, man. I think
Yeah,
that
I
once
just think it's just so important to keep First Corinthians 13 at the forefront because we have so many people like redefining love, and love is so much more than a feeling. I hear people just tie it to how you feel, but it requires so much effort, so much forgiveness, and so much humility. And a lot of people are not willing to walk in humility. So many people are full of pride and ego. And you cannot operate in pride and ego and think you can have love at the same time. It just doesn't work.
Mm, I agree.
Mm, I agree though. Yeah, I feel what you're saying though.
I definitely agree.
Yeah.
That,
But
that
is it also like basically when you forgive someone? No, it's not just basic. You say the words "I forgive you." You're supposed to actually practice on it though. Like basically though, either just say "Lord, I forgive you" and just let it go, or just basically just say "I forgive you," but I won't forget that though. Like you can forgive and forget, or you don't have to forget, but you have to forgive. So you're not just forgiving for the sake of forgiving. You're forgiving because it's actually helping you though. You're doing it for your own benefit though. Just because someone did you dirty though in that type of way. It's not just because you're forgiving them and you're forgiving them to let them off the hook. You're doing it because they actually help. You're doing it for your own good because if you keep holding it on with your own heart, it holds you back though. And that's sometimes the true enemy is not outside, but the true enemy is within though, because you yourself can be your own worst enemy, and you're supposed to actually find a way how to fix that, and supposed to love yourself, and and that's how it is though. So it's both inside and outside though, so you're supposed to balance. It's all about balance though with God though. That's what I mean though. So it's all about balance with God though, because we need God don't need us though. And
now you ain't wrong about that, brother.
Mhm.
And I think that once we realize that, I think I forget who said it. I think it was someone in the chat most said it. That once we realize that, that the Lord is talking to us as children. Once we realize that we're children and that no matter how much facial hair you have, no matter how many years you've been on this earth, you ain't older than the Lord, and you humble yourself. I think that puts us it puts us in a better place to understand, because only in humility can we really obtain that true connection to the Father, to know that we need Him. He doesn't need us. And this is why I said to Dark Lake, the Lord don't need gravity, G. Lord don't, He doesn't need any of those things. He doesn't need air. He doesn't need food. All of these things are created for us. So once we understand, and we start to humble ourselves to learn and to hear, and I think that's the issue, because again, as much as I forget, I try to learn more because Lord knows, everybody knows I have a bad memory. I forget stuff. I promise you, I
Me
forget stuff.
too.
So I'm the perfect one to do a crime with, because if they put me on a lie detector test, I'll be like, man, I don't remember doing that, dog. I
Mhm.
promise you, I don't. But I try to learn as much as I can to understand, because that helps me to be a better father, husband. And again, I fall short. Don't get it twisted. I'm the king of slipping. I'm the king of it. But it
Mhm.
helps me to understand better, and that's the key to it. Ever learning, man.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to like the first verse when it's pertaining to love, saying how you can say all the right things, like though I speak with tongues of men and of angels and have not love or charity, I'm becoming sounding brass or a living symbol. And that's just a warning against like people using sweet words or just spiritual language to really mask a lack of genuine love. And I think we see that a lot. So many people speaking the right things, but if you don't speak it from a place of love, it's pretty much pointless, you know?
Yeah,
It means nothing if your actions don't align.
right.
Man.
But if we're looking at it scripturally, right?
Mhm.
The reason why Paul put that there is because again,
It annoys me too, if I'm honest. When I tell you I get so
well,
frustrated and annoyed, like it's like people playing a game,
well,
you know, like
the reason,
saying the right things, but their heart is not in it. And when like you're truly connected and you're doing things from a genuine space, it can be like it gets frustrating, you know, because so many people are great talkers and they appear like to be really deeply spiritual and their heart is nowhere connected to the things that they say, like they are not living it out and it shows. You can feel it, you can hear it, and it is just frustrating to me a lot of times. It's like, okay, you're saying this but you don't act in us, you don't have kindness dwelling in any part of you, or patience, you know, or forgiveness. So what's the point?
that's a good point. That's a good point. And keep in mind too, the reason why Paul put this there is because when he was writing to the Church of Corinth, a lot of them thought externally, right? If they
Mhm.
spoke in tongues, if they were able to break things down, if they were able to prophesy and all that stuff, they thought that that was the fruit of the spirit.
Mhm.
What Paul is trying to show them is it's not. If you do all those things and the Lord is looking at your heart, he's looking at what's the motivation of why you're doing what
But
you're
you're mean as hell. Like you're so rude. You're so mean. I mean,
doing. Yeah, if it's not done from a place of wanting to do it and loving to do it, then he tells you don't even do it because it's like you didn't do it at all. So that's the point of this, right? So, is it self-serving, right? It, the are people giving this information to propagate themselves and put themselves on a higher level or pedestal than you to make you look like you're not worth anything and things of that nature. So these are all the things that he's speaking towards and speaking for. So
right.
yeah, it's important. It's important to understand the nuance of things.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing that we have to learn, and it's hard. You got to put your personal feelings aside when it comes to the.
Yellow. Mm-hmm.
You got to put your personal feelings to the side because he doesn't care about your personal feelings.
Vaughn made a good point. Thank God for a humble spirit. Yeah.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. So the Lord doesn't care about your personal feelings. He
Mm-hmm.
doesn't. It's His way because you know why it's His way. He knows better. That's the point. And once we can all get on that page, things will move so much better, so much smoother. So
Yeah, I agree.
yeah, I think you broke it down nicely.
Withdrawing the addiction takes some time. Aviola, we're okay. I don't know where his mind is.
I think he's saying the thought process of the way, like in addiction, just because you have an issue, it doesn't mean that it happens overnight. That's where I think he's coming from. I could be wrong.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I do.
I
Yeah,
could, I definitely could be wrong, but that's where I think he might be coming from.
because it was just random.
Yeah. But you know what? Too sometimes we can be. I know I can be long winded, and sometimes those texts or those things in the chat can come, and we not see it. and then when you pick it up, kind of the has passed.
Hmm. So do y'all want to get final thoughts? This was good.
This was great. This was awesome.
Really good.
And you know what? I appreciate Dark Lake coming up because
Me too.
him uh asking those questions and his point,
Hmm.
it's good that we were able to go into it and dissect the difference of in how attached love and duty is, and
Hmm.
how you can't separate the two, although we try to. They're both they're intertwined, tightly woven. So I appreciate him coming up there and allowing me and allowing the Holy Spirit to work through me to give that explanation. So I
Hmm.
thank him for that.
Yeah, shout out to you, Dark Lake. I appreciate you so much for coming up.
And wherever the hell he is, it's still daytime.
Who? Dark Lake?
Ah, wherever the hell he is. I seen him earlier today. Before I
Yeah, I
called.
noticed that in the background. I'm like, Cali's only 3 hours
Yeah,
behind.
it's still
Yeah.
It's
daytime.
still got daylight.
6 o'clock, 5 o'clock over there, wherever the hell he is. So I
Mm,
don't know what he's doing or whatever background he got. It looked like it's daytime.
right. Vaughn made a good point. He said some people confuse obsession with love. I
Ooh.
tell you, listen,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
the truth.
absolutely. Absolutely.
That is the truth.
I'll be dropping the bombs, huh?
Hmm. Yeah, that's good.
I had to give Vaughn that bomb drop.
Yeah, obsession is a real thing.
Ooh. All right. So you want to, I think you asked if people want to get their last words in.
Hmm. Riaz, do you have
Rhea, you
any
muted.
words, sweetie?
Riyadh had that bebop pose.
Wait, sorry, what was that though?
Last thoughts, she was saying.
Oh, last thought store. Last thought for is that everyone else though. But everyone interesting based on what I just heard though. Everyone else is basically right though. Cause I was asleep the entire time. I just caught what I caught, and pretty much for real the final last words though is though to everyone else, please leave a like, comment, share, connect to the host, and also make sure to connect everyone else who's a creator. Help us grow, God willingly, help us grow together. And that's that, man.
All right. Thank you, Riaz.
You're welcome.
Any last comment? Last words?
You said who, me?
Uh-huh.
Industry trust is normal. Um, love and duty are not the same, but we need both. Um, there's no one fixated thing that's like an off or on switch that's right or wrong that controls 100% of how people operate. It's a
Mhm.
collection of a whole bunch of things. And there's a lot of knowledge, a lot of basic things and foundations that's been cracked or a lot of information not given. So the real conversations do need to be had. Unfortunately, they get smothered with dust. Um, Shout out to y'all that are willing to have the real conversation and actually have real input for real conversations.
Yeah, shout out to you, Scam. I appreciate you.
And shout out to Dark Lake. Good questions.
Yes,
If he's still
Dark
out there.
Six. He's really good on the panel. I like to hear him and Bolo like go back and forth. They both make really good points. Liberated said, yeah, my folks definitely talk a good
Oh,
game.
you know, Dark Lake comes from the dust jungle, right?
Did he? I
Oh
didn't
yeah.
know that. Liberated said, folks definitely talk a good game and ain't worth the you know what. I'm in the church house, so I'm not gonna curse. Yes, I understand. Definitely.
Mm-hmm. I tell you better than
Next time. So he said, here's a hypothetical. You know how we have arms, legs, eyes, ears. What if everything we have seen and have not seen in the entire infinite universe makes up God? Mm.
You want to keep us here for another 12 hours. That's what Black Lexicon want to do. Yeah,
Okay.
deep thought. That's deep
I
thought.
don't
Let,
very much.
let's
Mhm.
try to remember that question for next Sunday. For that that
Okay.
hypothetical.
And then I'm say though, if God said no one's before me and no one is after me. So basically, that's just like the eternal infinite of God though. No one's before me and no one's after me.
Okay.
I don't
So
know
no
exactly what.
beginning, no beginning, no end. Complete infinite type of thing. But anyways, we'll get into that another time. I just need a simplified statement though. 'Cause I'm just keeping it simple though. I'm not on that type of level, man. And I'm keeping it real on that type of thing. Even though I know a lot, I just basically I'm just on a simple level though, and I'm trying to actually learn the simple stuff first. Then I can go into the deep stuff later. We'll probably get into it another day, one day.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. Well, listen. I like these conversations and these kind of panels where it's a controlled environment where we can actually use a scalpel um to cut away the fat and to with a decisive slice at what the truth is and to understand and have conversations with each other, right? So to dissect what the words are and how they can distract us from what the true meaning of something is and where we need to be and how we need to get there. So these conversations are very important. But most of all, I love that they're biblically based and they're structured around the word and the gospel. So, we need more of that. We need more structure. We need intentionality. We need focus. We need these things because they're missing, especially in conversation. They're missing. Everyone wants to just freestyle and willy nilly not hear each other. But here in this setup, we actually hear each other actively. So thank you, Mo, for creating this space where we can do this and have the difference of opinions. However, we want to understand that truth is not always going to feel good. Truth is not always something that, you're going to walk away saying, you're going to have butterflies in your stomach. No, truth
Mhm.
to grow, and sometimes growth deals with pain. Sometimes growth deals with disappointment, you know,
Right.
and I'm glad that we're able to rightly divide the word and always go back to the root of what it is. So thank you for that.
Absolutely.
That's my
Of
last.
course. I agree. And I'm grateful we did this topic. And just to everybody listening, don't get discouraged if you are still learning how to love well, right? Because we all are. And just keep showing up with an open heart. I recommend that you read your word and ask God to help you to um,
Mhm.
live out the word, not just read it, and that takes time. But just have an open heart and a willing spirit, and God will see you through. Pray, be consistent. And I hope that something was said to, I guess, help. Yeah.
All right.
Well, I'm gonna end it here. We will be back next Sunday, 10:30. I plan to be on time next Sunday. So thank y'all so much for tuning in. I love y'all. I pray that y'all have a blessed week. I'm also gonna start going live in the middle of the week. I don't have the time in the day just yet, but I will keep you guys posted. And feel free to subscribe, share my lives anytime, and I appreciate you all. All right, bye y'all. Have a blessed night.